So are you thinking of moving to Marco Island, Florida? I have some great information for you, and it's all about the cost of living on Marco Island, Florida. Hi there, my name is Diane Harris, and today I'll be discussing the cost of living on Marco Island, Florida. And also, stay tuned because I'm going to share a little bonus tip with you. So living on Marco Island means waking up to the gentle sounds of the Gulf of Mexico, enjoying pristine beaches at your doorstep, and immersing yourself in this tranquil island vibe. So with upscale resorts, incredible boating opportunities, gorgeous white sand beaches, fun local restaurants and boutiques, and kind of nature all around, it's a dreamy haven for those who are seeking sun and serenity. So let's start with the income and job opportunities of Marco Island. So the median household income, according to census.gov, is around $105,000 as of 2022, which means people here have a considerably higher income than the national average, which is approximately $75,000. So on Marco Island, people are doing pretty well with such a high average income. But here's the thing, it is an island. So to that end, there are plenty of job opportunities that are all relative to living on an island. Education, construction, government positions, healthcare, retail, and of course, the number one employment sector of Marco Island is, as you would expect, hospitality. So the countless resorts and restaurants are really the lifeblood of island living, and they require lots and lots of employees. So other vacation style amenities that you'd expect at a resort community are here as well, such as fishing guides, amazing sunset cruises, catamaran cruises, dolphin watching, and so on. And because 58% of the restaurant residents here are 65 years of age or older, there are jobs available if you're in the market for one. And don't forget the phenomenon of working from home, where you can park on the beach, tap into the Wi-Fi to keep your business running with your feet in the sand while enjoying balmy breezes and temperatures. So let's talk about housing costs. Housing on Marco Island, well, it's a little pricey, you know. The average price for a single family home here in early 2024 and for majority of 2023 is around the $2 million mark. Yeah, that's pretty steep. And even if you go for the middle ground, the median home value is still fairly high at about $1.6 million. So condos come in considerably lower in the 600s to the high 700s for median costs. But unfortunately, in this area, according to areavibes.com, the housing costs of both homes and rentals were over 200% above the national average. So this includes things like home prices, rent prices, mortgage rates, and insurance. So why the high home prices on Marco Island? Well, it's about lifestyle. And that is something that also factors into your cost and your value of living anywhere. But even more so on a stunning island in paradise, right? So the home prices here are really a reflection of the importance people place on a coastal waterfront lifestyle that living on a beautiful barrier island like Marco Island provides. And a large number of homes here, as well as condos, are located on canals, which allow boat docks, slips, and water access to the stunning Gulf of Mexico. So a great deal of the other available homes also have kind of incredible views of the white sugar sand beaches where the Gulf of Mexico laps the shore lightly, it's beautiful, or views of marinas sporting all shapes and sizes of boats and yachts. So the 10,000 Islands Water Wonderland is amazing, abuts Marco Island, and that's really kind of your ticket to paradise. So if you are a boating enthusiast, enjoy ski-doos, kayaks, paddle boards, backwater fishing, or just want to watch the sun rise and set over the water, Marco Island can be the perfect place for you to live your best life. So let's break down the nuts and bolts of other things that factor into the cost of living. These numbers will give you the lowdown on what it takes to keep yourself comfy on the island every day. Let's talk about utilities. So according to bestplaces.net, the cost of utilities is about 2% lower than the national average, coming in around 98%. So this number includes things like electricity, where the average bill is about $179 a month, and a phone bill, which is less than 1% higher than the national average, coming in around $190 a month. So what are the food costs and the groceries on the island? Eating on Marco Island can be a bit pricey, coming in about 13% above the national average. But the cost of everyday items like ground beef, potatoes, and beer is higher here. But things like fried chicken, milk, and pizza are lower than the national average. But one kind of unique positive, there's a large amount of produce that's grown within 20 to 50 miles of the island, which really allows for fresh local produce and fresh local citrus at a very reasonable cost for a large part of the year. So how about transportation? Is it expensive? Well, the good and the bad of island living is the limited access. There are 2 bridges that allow people access to the island via car. That being said, the island has enough shopping and stores that you really don't have to leave the island constantly to find the things that you need. While transportation costs are approximately 7% higher than the national average on Marco Island, we really like the eco-friendly ways of getting around. big fans of walking, jogging, and biking. It's good for you, the planet, and it's one of the best and cheapest ways to get around the island. We're all about sustainable living and making sure our community stays beautiful and in tune with the incredible nature that surrounds us. So how do healthcare costs compare? Staying healthy on Marco Island is pretty much in line with what people spend on healthcare in Florida and kind of across the whole country. So this includes all the regular stuff you might need to stay well, such as doctor visits, dental care, and drugs. Healthcare costs about 8% more than the national average. And that brings us to the question you are all really waiting to get answered is, what is the overall cost of living on Marco Island? Well, living on Marco Island is significantly higher than the national average, approximately 62% higher, according to Area Vibes. And that cost is mainly driven up by housing expenses, which are a whopping 200% higher than the national average. So living on this stunning island in the Gulf of Mexico is pricier compared to many other places. But people who live here believe it is absolutely worth the additional cost to enjoy this fabulous lifestyle that they live. So as promised, let's have a look into the bonus tip. Living on Marco Island, and actually all of Florida, comes with a fabulous financial benefit. We have no state income taxes. And that means that you get to keep more of your hard-earned money. So in addition, property taxes are quite low, coming in at approximately 1% of assessed value. That is significantly lower than the state average of 1.34% and extremely low when compared to many high property tax states such as New Jersey, New Hampshire, Illinois, New York, and even Texas. But there's a little twist. There's a 7% sales tax when you buy stuff. Sales tax is typical of 48 states in the US, so it's pretty normal. However, when you start looking at the combined state and local tax burden, you can kind of get a clearer picture of taxes. Property taxes plus state income tax, sales tax, and corporate taxes, and all of a sudden, that number can add up pretty quickly. For example, according to wisevoter.com, Florida state and local tax burden is 9.1%, ranked 40th in the nation. So compared to New York, coming in at 15.9%, they are the highest in the country. Or Connecticut, ranked at number 2, is at 15.4%. So knowing the full tax burden will kind of help you determine if Marco Island fits your budget vibe as well as your lifestyle vibe. So while living on Marco Island can feel like a dream with its Gulf breezes, stunning beaches, and so many things to do, it comes with a higher price tag. The cost of living here is a bit higher, particularly in housing. However, the bonus tip is that you get a break on your state income taxes. So if you're ready for a fun, beachy, sun-filled, and tax-friendly lifestyle, so explore Marco Island, Florida with me. My name is Diane. I'm your lifestyle and real estate guide. So if you enjoyed this video on cost of living in Marco Island, Florida, then stay updated by subscribing and following me on socials. Like this video if you found it helpful, and click on the boxes on the screen if you'd like to see more videos about Naples and Southwest Florida. And for further questions, contact details are in the description. Thanks for watching, and I hope that this helps you love the way you live Southwest Florida.